getting off with that. One of my biggest fears was when I saw the MC for the day was Sarah. I thought you were going to make an introduction and I was living in fear. So you're not going anywhere. Stay there. Stay there. I heard the comment. Does anyone know who this is? It's Ireland's most famous soccer player. A gentleman with the unfortunate name of Troy Parrott. Do you know why I put that there? Anyone know why I put that there? No idea. Something extremely important is going to happen in the world on the 5th of December. It's extremely important. And I heard a comment earlier about the inability to do forecasting. You have the inability to do forecasting because you don't know what's going to happen on the 5th of December, do you? No one in this room knows what's going to happen on the 5th of December. What's going to happen on the 5th of December, Miss SDR?
I guessed at National Day. I guessed
Wrong.
at Abu Dhabi Grand Prix because I can't quite remember what date it was.
Wrong.
I guessed at a decision on whether Ronaldo would play in the first game of the World Cup.
Close.
Which he will. Shame on you, FIFA. He should be banned. He's been suspended for a year, and I'm not even a soccer fan. But having given me this prompt, Jeff, I do think I know what's happening on the 5th of December. I think the decision will be made on the 5th of December where the games will be played across the US and Canada.
We are going to learn where Scotland will play their games at the World Cup.
The other games as well, but also Scotland.
Maybe Ireland will play, but they have to navigate 2 more games before they find out if they play. Now, as a result of this gentleman's amazing gymnastics, the whole of Scotland has desperately been searching for friends. Now, for those of you who want to do forecasting, we have a 3 in 5 chance of playing against America, Canada, or Mexico, because we cannot play against one of the top-seeded European teams because we're in Europe. As a result of that, Scottish people have been looking for long lost friends even, across Mexico, across Canada, and in the United States. And there's a very high chance that we will get drawn against Mexico, which means we will play 2 games in Mexico and 1 game in Atlanta. Hi, Brian. Where do you live? Atlanta. Fantastic. So I have 15 cousins, a long family, and do you know what's even worse? If Ireland make it, they have the same odds. So there could be 2 islands, Scotland and Ireland, headed to Mexico and all coming to camp out in your house in Atlanta. So, for the forecasters among us, watch out for the 5th of December. Brian, how big's your house? 3. Perfect. We can get about 100 people in there. 3-bedroom house easily. Sarah, you can go now. Thank you very much. You're free. So watch out for the 5th of December. It's the World Cup draw. It will affect your business in Dubai. It will affect your business in the Middle East, because every Scottish person will definitely be glued to the TV for at least 3 games. Historically, we never make it past that stage, so you don't have to worry about the rest of the tournament. We will be at the 3 games. We will remember nothing of them. Okay. Back to your conference. So, my job, historically, is to wrap up and tell you what I understood from the conference. It's been very tricky because I missed a day. So I've been completely reliant on the magic of someone called Jean, who sends me the transcripts of everything that happened. Last night, she sent me a message, 11:30 at night. The message said, what did the message say? Jeff, we forgot to press record. Jean, you had green button, huh? Press record. Sorry, Jeff. Wing it. Hence the Scottish guys on the screen. So I did better than that. I called some friends this morning who were in attendance yesterday, and I said, guys, what happened in the sessions? Here's what I learned. Fortunately, I made it today. Here's what I learned. Yesterday, you met and had the pleasure to meet one of the world's most outstanding guys. Was everybody here for Nick? What a guy. Like, what a guy Nick is. I met Nick for the first time on Palm Jumeirah. I received a phone call. This is going to sound typical Dubai. I received a phone call from a gentleman on the radio. He's on a radio show in the morning called Virgin. He called and he said, Jeff, you need to meet this guy. He's in town for 3 days, and he's thinking about moving here. Can you go meet him? So I said, yeah. So I went to the Palm Jumeirah. It was a Sunday. And in literally rolls Nick. And he said, I'm going to sell everything. I'm moving to Dubai. That's it. He's been here like for 4 days. And he said, I'm moving to Dubai. I'm living in the States. I live in Florida. I'm packing up everything. I moved to Dubai. Do you think I can do business here? What's your business? He said, I'm in the business of public speaking. I'd never heard of the guy. I'm in the business of public speaking. Do you think I can get work? I said, don't know. But I'm sure if you try hard enough, we have a big speaking circuit, a lot of motivational speakers. And after that conversation, we had some lunch. I left. He left back to the States. He sends a message later saying, that's it, I'm all in. I'm moving to Dubai. How do I move to Dubai? Fortunately, he comes under talented persons. So we were able to arrange for Nick a golden visa. And subsequently, he upped sticks and moved to Dubai. And it's amazing to watch the progress he's making, to see him on the stage at the World Government Summit, to see him on the stage here, to see him talking and spreading his message to everybody. So I'm delighted that you had the chance to have Nick with you yesterday. Also great that we had the chance to hear from Maha and from Mimi on really important subjects. And it was in thinking about the reflection of Nick and Maha and Mimi that I kind of realized that the entire conference is really in two themes. There has clearly been a theme on the focus of you and what you're doing in terms of investing in yourself and how you're investing in yourself to be a much better leader, a much more empathetic leader, a leader who cares about your team, because that's really the world that we're operating in now. And just now on stage, between Marie-Louise and Debbie, they talked exactly about that challenge, the challenge that we face, this intergenerational challenge. And it's quite interesting because this morning, I came to this conference from a meeting earlier which was all about vision, mission, and goal setting. And it's very clear that the one thing that unites all generations is this North Star. And I know Maha always talks about the need for you and your business to have a clear North Star. And if you have a clear North Star, then it can unite everyone around that shared goal. So that theme, that number one theme, was very clear. It came across very clear in what I heard from the people who attended yesterday. Also, yesterday I heard from someone who was talking about the impact that the mentoring discussions had on them. And we just saw that now with Sam and Marike. But yesterday there was a session with Kiran, Rob, Haya, and Solesh, again discussing the importance of mentoring. And it made me reflect really on when HSMAI was formed as an organization, a small organization. I think, Mona, what now? 9, 10, how many years ago? More? 8 years ago. It was always about this focus on people and what we could do to unite the Hospitality Sales Marketing Association, the people who were involved within the UAE in this industry. And it's amazing to see people on the stage now talking about the impact that mentoring has on them. So this theme of focusing on you, focusing on your team, focusing on people was very obvious to me. Now, the second theme, which is overwhelming, it's all the way through the agenda, it was in all of the sessions today, it's very, very obvious, is this theme of the speed of technical change. The speed that we're living in today and everything that you're having to deal with is huge. It reminds me of Wallace and Gromit on the moped with the helmet back here, with his eyes closed, and he's going as fast as he can, and he maybe doesn't know where he's going, but he's going at that speed. That's what the agenda reminds me of, and a lot of the subjects that remind me of. Nothing more so than, so I'm going to ask someone to show their age. Anyone in this room ever paid for a brochure contribution with a tour operator? Yeah, Malegi. You probably signed the contract and never paid. But yes, remember signing, Vicky, you definitely remember signing brochure contributions. So signing brochure contributions. Then we move to the impact of SEO and SEM. And now we're into this whole other world of geo and LLMs and optimizing against this other world. And it's changing so fast. And that's what really made me think about the speed of technical change that you're facing. So theme number 1 was the focus on you, your leadership, everything that you're doing to manage within this generational change and everything that's ahead of us. But there were 9 different things that I picked up, and I called them the bottom line. And this is what you're faced with for the rest of this year and well into next year. Here's the bottom line that I picked up. Bottom line number 1, technically, teamwork is non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable technical skill. Bottom line number 2, you had better be procuring data and accessing data. We saw and heard the great example of that from Amadeus. If you don't know where you're getting data from, if you're not getting data, you're dead in the water. You're toast. Finished. Gone. Bottom line number 3, I'll come back to it. You better understand geo, your visibility on geo, and how competitive that space is. It's extremely competitive. Avoid JavaScript. Anyone use JavaScript in their websites? Do you even know? If you use JavaScript, dead in the water. Gone. Change your vendor. Bottom line number 4, loyalty and partnership. What's your strategy? The luxury team that were on the stage earlier, they alluded to that. By the way, how eloquent and nice were they? Yeah? Luxury people. Huh? Huh? I hope you reflected on that. Hotel people. Rocking in your jeans and your mismatching stuff. Luxury people. Okay? Notice the difference. Okay? But loyalty and partnership. What's your strategy for loyalty and partnerships? Bottom line number 5. Make friends with STR. They have loads of stuff you don't know. Loads of stuff you don't know. It's in our briefcase and our laptop. Make friends with Sarah and Philip. Bottom line number 6. Where's Ralph? Hiding. There's a spotlight on you, Ralph. You better understand your tech stack, right? I heard this loud and clear. How cost effective is your tech stack? Do you even know what it costs? Think about that for a while. Bottom line number 7. You, commercial people, are in charge of the cost of your sale, not your director of finance. I'm going to find someone who will know the answer to this. Vicky, you better know the answer to this. A sale is not a sale until it's... And who said that? Until it's paid for. If that sale is costing you 4%, Faisal, it just costs you unnecessary cash, right? So Faisal can talk at length about the cost of a sale, not just the commission, not just the markup, not just the front end, which you all used to be concerned with. Consider the back end. You are now commercial people. Bottom line, consider the cost of the sale and the time it takes for the cash to get into your bank. It can make massive improvements to your business, and it's not a sale until it's paid for. Who was here for the JJ presentation? Everybody follow his blog? Like, I don't know how that guy has a life. What he does on the weekends, nuts. He makes movies like I've never seen, usually starring himself, but unbelievable. Okay, if you don't follow JJ and his blog, you're really missing out on something. What can AI do for your marketing? What can it do for your teams? If you don't technically understand this, by this conference next year, honestly, shame. Like, dig into what that guy is telling you. He's giving the game away for free on his blog. He writes extensively on LinkedIn. He posts on his blog. Excellent stuff. Tune into that. It's a game changer for your own knowledge. 2 more. Bottom line, number 8. Am I on 8? Number 8, yeah. Bottom line, number 8. You better understand consumer-to-consumer advocacy and consumer-to-consumer marketing. I'm sure Ida, I didn't see the session, it was before I got here. I'm sure Ida talked at length about what we're doing at Dubai Tourism in consumer-to-consumer marketing and how things are changing so quickly and just how much money and effort we're spending in consumer-to-consumer marketing. If you don't understand the power of that and key opinion leaders, please make it one of your New Year resolutions to go out and learn that. And lastly, and I just heard it again, and it resonated so much, it doesn't matter how much data you have, how much technical skills you have, how great they are. If you don't have in your team or yourself emotional IQ, you're dead in the water. This ability to have emotional IQ and understand what's going on with the customer and read the signals of the customer is critical. If you don't have it, invest in it in your team, but make sure it exists in your business in bucket loads. Emotional IQ is the difference. The luxury team brought that through loud and clear. You can buy all the tech stack, you can buy the data, you can do everything. But in the hospitality business, if we don't have this emotional IQ, we're dead in the water. That is my observations. That's the end of the wrap-up, Sarah. Closing. 5th of December, what happens? Huh? Fear for Brian. There's 100 Scottish guys heading to Atlanta. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.